Welcome back, welcome back to another episode.
What are you welcoming us back to?
Another episode.
Another episode of what?
The next episode.
You ain't no Dr. Dre.
And you ain't no Snoop D-O-double-G.
In the house. Oh wait, I'm too white for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't been out in the sun much.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back.
No. Backyard bullshit's back.
Yeah.
Go tell a friend.
Detroit Lions are back.
They are, bro. Can you believe the Texans, the Ravens, the Jaguars, and some other team didn't exist the last time Lions were in the championship game? Can you believe that?
This is crazy, bro.
Alright, well, welcome back to Backyard BS. The only podcast you'll find that I don't know where I was going with it.
That only bullshits about every topic there is.
Mainly about sports and religion and whatever else.
Sports.
A lot about sports. And just stupid stuff that we find on the internet. And was like, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Our season is coming to an end, broski.
Is it?
And what, like 4 weeks?
2 weeks, 3 weeks?
3 weeks? 3 weeks, man. 3 weeks. Can you believe that?
And then we'll get down and dirty and actually come back better than ever next year.
Yeah, we're gonna watch film. We're gonna get better. We're gonna improve ourselves. And when we come back, y'all are gonna be like, "What the heck? Where did they come from? Those are ninjas, bro." Yo. Chicken.
We're still gonna be a bunch of bullshitters.
We really will be a bunch of bullshitters. Bull sister. Wait, what? Anyway, what's on our agenda today, Levi?
So let me find the deal I sent you.
I've tried to send like 20 different videos.
So, I realize this might be a little bit of old news, or so I was told, but I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and this came across my feed, and it is a really strange deal.
I'm gonna sue my parents.
Yeah.
Because they didn't come to me to consent for me to be born, so I'm gonna sue my parents.
Yeah, so this lady is suing her parents because she didn't give consent to them to give birth to her.
But yet she's only mad because she lived in a 4,500 square foot house, and her parents bought her a 1,200 square foot house apartment, and she had to move in to the 1,200 square foot apartment, and it was smaller, and she was mad about that.
Yeah, and she is mad because she had to pay bills and she had to do all this other stuff. She didn't consent to being an adult. So, like I said, I don't know if it's true, but the way our society is going these days, I really wouldn't put it past her to.
I'm a cat. Meow.
Meow.
Nah, I'm a lion. Rawr.
Rawr.
Nah, I'm a bumblebee.
I thought Bumblebee was a car, man.
I'm Optimus Prime. I'm Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. So, yeah. But yeah, this lady decided to sue her parents, and it was really weird. There's a video out there if you want to watch it. Go ahead and watch it, but
which could be, I don't know if it's true or not, because it could be like a parody or something.
It could be.
Like she took an influencer class and was like, "Oh, you gotta make people believe in something stupid," and so.
But I also kind of find it true
Yeah, because I didn't consent to being born. Oh.
Well, not only that, but like, well, that's really retarded. But like, the only reason I find it true is because wherever you look, you hear about really dumb stuff going on in our society these days. So, and there's a lot of really weird things going on in society these days. And so I would not put it past someone in today's world to do something like that. So that's why. So yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, did she ever say whether she won or lost?
I don't know.
Because that's why I was like assuming as a class, because she never.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, so I'm just suing my parents because of this. And it was never like, yeah, I just won my court battle with my parents, Or I just lost my court battle, which is stupid. Like, I didn't consent to this, and I don't know why the judge voted on this, like.
My only question is what lawyer would you get to, like, how would you fight a case like that?
One that dresses up like a kitty cat. Okay?
I'm just saying, how would you even go about fighting a case like that? Because I guarantee you the judge is going to look at you weird, the lawyer's going to look at you weird and be like, huh? That's like impossible to prove. Like what evidence are you gonna have to pull out of your ass to try winning that for?
Every evidence.
Hey,
every evidence.
But yeah. So, do you have any shout outs this week?
Shout out. No, not really.
Neither do I. I was gonna say I was happy that Pullman's Heating and Air came out and fixed our heating system in our garage, so it's no longer 48 degrees in our big building.
Oh. That's cool.
But other than that, I really don't have a...
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know, I lock myself in my room and cry.
Speaking of, like, small town businesses and stuff, right?
Small town businesses.
That'd be my shout out. It's just small town businesses.
Small town businesses.
And they need more of our support.
And they definitely do need more of our support.
Exactly. So if you have a small mom and pop shop somewhere in your town or a local business, please support them because they could really use it. And I know here in Nebraska this has been a really, really rough time for a lot of them because the weather has affected a lot of things and has kind of shut things down. We talked about that last week, that the weather kind of shut things down for a while. So go support your mom and pop shops, your small town businesses.
Which I was reading somewhere that supposedly the government is trying to get rid of mom and pop shops, bro. Can you believe that? That's how rumors start. I start them. Just because I read something stupid.
Which, I mean, in all technicality, last week we were talking about CDLs and
it can happen.
And businesses and the government stepping in and starting to close down mom-and-pop trucking companies because their insurance rate is starting to get too high. Insurance coverages, I should say, are getting too high. So yeah.
Y'all. Y'all tricked y'all.
Y'all tricked y'all.
Y'all tricked y'all.
Y'all tricked y'all.
Y'all.
Right. Moving on to sports.
Sporties. So tonight, well, I guess when this airs, 2 nights from when it airs, from when this airs, the first a professional volleyball team of Nebraska called the Omaha Novas, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah, is playing.
Crap, is that already this week?
That's already this
Holy
week. They are playing.
Damn.
As we speak.
Damn.
But it'll be 2 days from when you're watching this. So whether they win and lose, well, good luck to you and throughout the season.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even.
Yeah, pro volleyball, baby. Pro volleyball.
So, over the weekend we had the Lions beat the Buccaneers.
Oh my goodness, no way. It's almost like Eminem was like, hey, I'm going to call a third quarter. And he did.
So can you tell me when the last time the Lions were in an NFC Championship game?
Well, it was like 1991 or 1992.
January 12th, 1992. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. What do you mean, oh, wait?
Oh. Sorry. So, yeah, it was January 12th, 1992. It read funny because it said Lions did not make it back to the NFC Championship game until just this past Sunday. Like, I read that part and I was like, wait. Did not make it back? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Actually, it's the Mandela effect. Actually, the Buccaneers won. Honestly, you want to know Mandela effect?
It's good.
You know how there's a spice called turmeric? It's turmeric now, supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh. Mandela effect.
So, yeah, and then the 49ers beat the Packers.
Wow.
So, that was a thriller. That was kind of a thriller game, too. And then the Ravens beat the Texans.
I do like how Jordan Love looks. He's going to get them a Super Bowl, just like Aaron Rodgers did.
And Brett Favre. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, Ravens won.
Ravens beat the Texans.
That was a back and forth game.
Until about the second half.
Yeah, third quarter came and they started pulling ahead.
And then the Chiefs beat the Bills in another thriller matchup. And if the Josh Allen curse exists, Ravens are winning this Sunday. If you beat Josh Allen in the playoffs, you lose the next round, supposedly.
Well, have you seen the new theory?
New theory?
New theory. The new theory?
What's the new theory?
So you know how we're talking about colors are the ones that go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about how the bottom color was always the winner, right?
Yeah.
Well, now there's a new theory that is the one with the smallest amount of color are the winners.
Yep.
So, either way, so we really don't know.
So, we're going to get into that topic here in a little bit.
We are going to get into that topic.
But
here.
I want to backtrack here a little
We're
bit.
going to backtrack?
A little bit.
We're going to wind it up?
So,
rewind?
So,
rewind?
Rewind.
Rewind. Okay. There we go. Okay, anyway,
So, haven't you noticed a big trend in all of your playoff teams right now? So far?
A lot of them
they all have one common. A lot of them have a common theme going on.
I mean, other than there's a lot of first timers in a long time.
I was gonna say there's a lot of Andy Reid connections in this playoff.
Oh, there's a lot of Andy Reid connections in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. It's almost like Andy Reid as a coach or something, like a legendary coach.
I
or
know. But yeah.
something.
So, technically, Andy Reid. So a little history about Andy Reid is he was just a quarterbacks coach, and then got the big time gig in 1999 with the Philadelphia Eagles. He was just
1999.
yeah,
1999. 1999.
I believe that's what it was. Yeah. So, he was a quarterbacks coach for the Green Bay Packers, and basically a no-name dude. Didn't have any head coaching experience. Didn't have any like coordinating experience. Nothing like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't even the best candidate on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to know how he got the job?
How?
He had a coaching draft board, man.
He had draft picks of coaches he wanted as his coach or as like the coach.
No, like his coach. Like if he was gonna put a staff together, he had every coach in the NFL on the draft board, and where it would be number 1, number 2, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And he walked in there with this whole list,
Mm-hmm.
and they were shocked because they asked him. They're like, "So, this is your like coaching draft board? Like, why is this guy like? Let's just say number 5, right? Why did you put this guy as number 5?" And he would explain in full detail why this was his 5th pick.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this guy, like say number 9th, or so you know what I mean? They kind of just asked him random numbers, and he could explain in full detail like why this guy was the number that he had, and why these guys were the guys that he wanted if they were available, and and so on and so forth. So he put together like an all-time coaching staff that included John McDermott, John Harbaugh, DeMarco Ryan played for him, which is now the Houston Texans coach. Doug Peterson was his quarterback, and 10 years later got a coaching job with Andy Reid at the time. Like, I understand, like, Doug Peterson didn't make the playoffs this year, but he had Jacksonville in a spot to do it, and he made it last year. But, yeah, you look at the connection of...
The connection? The connection.
The connection.
Not the connection. It's the connection.
The connection.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Blowing my mind.
But, yeah, it's just... Like I said,
blowing my mind.
The connection is just absolutely crazy of how like Andy Reid's footprints have been all over. Oh, and Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles
was also on in the early 2000s. Todd Bowles was on Andy Reid's coaching staff in Philly, and he is the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now.
Does Todd have odd bulls?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Throw them balls?
He has odd balls, huh?
But yeah, it's just, like I said, it's...
Coinkadink?
It's crazy as hell.
Coinkadink?
So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool how Andy Reid is playing in one of the biggest games of the year. So I find it cool how Andy Reid is playing in one of the biggest games of the year, because this determines who goes to the Super Bowl. So I would have to say this is the second most important game of the year. But you also look at how, one, he's still coaching, and two, his footprint is literally all over this playoff picture and the last 4 teams that were in it. Well, 8 teams, I should say. It was just kind of cool learning how just in this divisional round that how much connections he had. I thought it was cool. So
Speaking of,
so since we were talking about Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh,
might be coming back to the NFL.
yeah. So Michigan offered him a contract,
A
And
big contract.
a big one,
A big one.
and he has yet to
Sign.
sign it. But also, on Tuesday, he was back in LA meeting with the Chargers. So, is he coming back to the NFL? Or is he going to accept the Michigan offer and stay in college?
What I think is he needs to just get a job with a rival team like the Browns or something. Maybe even I know
Like
Mike
Tomlin and ain't leaving?
ain't leaving, but like a rival team to the Ravens. That way we got brother versus brother.
2 times a year?
Yeah.
Maybe 3, depending on how playoffs fall?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Get that juicy drama going. That's what the script writers need.
Speaking of drama, Jason Kelsey took his shirt off
I saw that.
and he jumped out of a deal.
I saw
and now
that.
he's like all over like social media.
So many memes.
Because he slammed beers with Bills fans.
Mm-hmm.
That would be one brother I'd love to go hang out with. Like, I love Travis, don't get me wrong, but I think Jason's like the cooler one.
Oh yeah.
Like, Jason just seems like more down to earth and just,
Travis is more like the fuck boy.
yeah,
The fuck boy, party boy.
the pretty boy, and yeah.
And then Jason's the fun one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your brother?
So going back to your theory.
Going back to the script.
Yeah.
We're going back to the script.
Going back to the script.
Juicy drama script.
So, I have a question here.
What's the question?
So, let's just hypothetically say the NFL is rigged, right?
It is.
We physically can't prove that.
Yes, we can. We got colors.
Okay. We physically can't prove that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can use that theory. But do you realize that they take 2 colors and so what they do is with every logo.
What they do is they send this Super Bowl script to the news team, and they're like, oh, on this day it's gonna be nice during the Super Bowl, and the Reba McEntire has joined the Super Bowl with Ravens versus 49ers. That was on a local TV. Yeah, you saw that one?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
But no, so what they do is with the Super Bowl logos is they try to match colors for like a sunset color. Kind of like different sunsets, right?
Yeah.
Or the different colors in certain sunsets that you can get in different areas.
Then why the heck do they have purple, huh?
Because sometimes you can get like a purplish color on a sunset.
Not that purple of a color.
Well, true. But I'm saying is that's what they do. Now, let me actually look it up here. But the other thing is there are so many factors, right?
So many factors, like peanut butter factors.
So there are so many things. Okay.
This is like making it way more complicated than it needs to be.
Well, no, but what I'm getting at is, okay, so like, you take WWE, right?
Yeah.
You know how many moving parts are in the WWE compared to the NFL?
A crap ton.
There's a lot less moving parts, in WWE than what there is in the NFL.
Oh.
So you can keep things secret and hidden in WWE a lot easier.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not saying, but if you get people fired every year, if you get, like, coaches get fired every year, certain personnel get fired every year, why haven't one of those guys came out and said it's scripted? See? Now, JFK...
Because they get paid a lot of money. That's why. They're like, hey, don't tell our secrets, because we need that money.
So... So, JFK... Okay, so the Supreme Court recognizes the NFL teams as separate entities, contract combinations, or conspiracy to predetermine outcomes, thus restricting an individual organization the ability to generate revenue, is a violation of the Sherman Act. The antitrust exemption given by President John F. Kennedy does not extend to cover. Knowing this, the NFL legally cannot centrally plan to fix outcome of games.
And is that still in effect?
Yep. Organizations and players are bound by the personal conduct policy and the NFL Constitution.
What about your NFL Constitution, huh?
So, with this being said, alright, so if you go farther down, right? The NFL cannot legally fix games, and the teams and players cannot fix games. It is just not possible. Well, possible and legal are two different words. However, can the NFL fix games and get away with it?
Absolutely.
Is the probative question.
You can.
This is certainly not advice on how to fix games, nor endorsing the behavior, but speculation on how it could be done. As stated earlier, most conspiracies fail because they are too big or involve too many moving parts. Knowing this, the scheme must be small or involve very few people. Additionally, those involved must have their self-interest sufficiently aligned with the scheme. Incentives must be strong enough to deter defectors and whistleblowers. Finally, the difficulty in coordinating the sport of football must be considered. It would be too tall of a task to fix the game from start to finish. Now,
you just say, hey, you're going to win and you're going to lose, but make it look realistic.
Now.
That's why people end up blowing up tackles or just end up handing the ball over to the other team. We've all seen those highlights, Levi. We know it's rigged.
So, you physically... So, under these... under these laws, you physically cannot rig the NFL.
Yeah,
or
you can tell
it would be a
them
violation of government regulations, right? Now, here's the other thing. The NFL loves its money way too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you drop a logo, so this logo was dropped back in February, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think already at that point, so Baltimore and 49ers are one of the smallest revenue fan bases throughout the whole NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Would you really, back in February, go, oh yeah, we're gonna hit our two smallest revenue spots,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna take them to the NFL? Or would you rather have a big time?
No. See, you take the small ones, they go to the Super Bowl, everyone's buying those jerseys, while all the fan base are still buying the same profit margin, all the same, but you're having more of a profit margin because everyone's now going to the Ravens and 49ers, but still being consistent with the other teams. Therefore, they're actually making more profit.
But the other thing is, too, so, speaking of profit revenue, Dallas. Dallas is one of the biggest profit revenues in the NFL.
And they suck.
And in the last 30 years, they have not got past basically the first round of playoffs. So, if you were the NFL and it was rigged, wouldn't you want, at least once in the last 30 years, to have one of your biggest fan bases
Nah.
in the Super Bowl?
Nah.
Just a random thought.
Nah. It's more entertaining if American teams loses.
Yeah, but like not consistently in the first round. Like make it a little bit more entertaining, like NFC Championship game or a divisional round or
No, that's too much drama.
now, the other thing.
The other thing.
So, refs, from what I was reading, referees are not declined to betting. They cannot get in trouble if they bet. So with all these random, so legally they cannot fix games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can bet, you see how the NFL is so inconsistent with reffing.
Mm-hmm.
So the NFL isn't rigged in my mind. It's not rigged because of like all your rules and regulations, but it is fixed a little bit because those refs are trying to earn money, so they're going to throw flags in certain spots, or they're going to penalize teams when like try to get things to go
Their way,
but yet they can't make it obvious because if it looks obvious, then everybody's gonna know.
Pass interference, holding.
But yeah, so that is my thing, is like they will. So yeah.
Half these refs wait till a player comes like, you know.
I think they need to change. I think they need to change the reffing part of it, because here's what I don't get: is if a player gets caught betting, they get kicked out for a whole entire season.
Mm-hmm.
But a ref can actually bet, and then they can go in here and go, oh shit, this game ain't going the way I want it to, and I'm gonna lose money, so I better like do something to get the other team a little bit of momentum. How's that fair? Just saying. Now, I will admit, like, the only other thing I could see is it with it being fixed is certain play calling at specific times. Like there's too many moving parts. You can't really like fix the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if Roger Goodell was like, hey, let's just say, hey, Chiefs need the ball here, so you're gonna do a fake punt with DeMar Hamlin on 4th and 3rd on your own 30-yard line. That would kind of make it look a little weird, wouldn't it? So yeah. So, any last comments on this?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I'm just saying is
Nope.
if you do your research, it's really interesting what laws and regulations the NFL has to follow, and under those laws and regulations, you legally cannot fix a game.
Maybe that's where the government's getting all their money to transfer it overseas.
I don't know, but like I said, if you look at the rules and regulations, Now, am I saying the NFL is rigged? No, because like it can be because like I said, there's loopholes in there,
Mm-hmm.
but I honestly don't think the league itself is rigged.
Potato, tomato. Caramel, pecan, bro.
But you also know another weird theory that I brought up to you earlier. So you were talking about Super Bowl colors, right?
Yeah.
What's the alternative Super Bowl colors sitting at Allegiant Stadium right now?
It's like blue and red or something.
What are the 4 teams that are currently in the championship games?
All blue, purple, and red. And a different kind of red.
So you have Chiefs and Baltimore, which is red and purple, right?
Mm.
Then you have 49ers and
Lions,
which is red and blue. So all 4 colors are officially there, which is another weird
coinkydink.
So yeah, let put your thoughts in the comments below. I would really love to see them because, like I said, as I went through and did my research earlier, and figured out that the NFL legally, keyword there is legally, cannot be fixed.
Conspiracy theory. They're paying for Ukrainians and Hamas and Islam, and so they're paying money to make money.
Yep. So now we're going to get into our other topic, or we're going to get into the real talk here.
Real talk.
So, if anybody knows what is going on at the Texas border right now,
a lot of immigrants are coming over. All the states that voted for open borders and letting people come into our great nation. I don't know. Texas has been sending buses and airplanes to those states that have voted for them, and now states like New York and Chicago are getting fed up with it, but yet they're the ones that voted for it, so they're the ones that get it.
The mayor of Chicago is pissed right now because he cannot physically hold any more illegals in his shelters, and the governor, senator, or whatever of Texas literally sent 100 immigrants on a plane to Chicago. So with that being said, I kind of thought of the topic of what is the American dream, because I also
definitely not freedom, that's for sure.
Well, but I mean,
came to the wrong place for that.
But if you think about it, when our nation was started,
it was all fine and dandy, but in 1913, when they introduced the Federal Reserve and created the income tax, they created a monster which made citizens poor, which ended up into the Great Depression, which also ended up both in World War I and World War II, which might even end up in World War III, but that's yet to come.
But yeah, so you look at what's going on in the border right now, right? And then you kind of go farther back to like how this nation got started, right? And people were trying to escape poverty and escape slavery and stuff like that. So they came here, and that was their way of
the land of opportunity.
And we were the land of opportunity, right? The American dream is what people called it. So with all these immigrants down here, they are trying to have a shot at the American dream.
Why did it actually exist anymore?
Well, see, exactly. That's
the
why
American dream, where you're broke, you're living in a rundown house, and you're
see, and
paying taxes.
The other reason I thought of this was earlier on my feed was it was some guy and he was talking about how millennials and Gen Zs how nowadays when they retire, what are they retiring with?
My retirement account.
But really, so they're trying to okay. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to raise the retirement age from 65 to 70, right? So back in the day, it used to be 40 hours for 40 years. That was how you calculated retirement, right? So, or 40 hours a week for 40 years, and people could retire off of that. Well, now they want to bump it up to 70, so you're talking almost 40 hours a week for 50 years.
Not me. I'm retiring at 40, bro.
So, but with that being said, is you look at what people are able to retire off of, now just a simple like 40-hour a week paycheck or 80-hour bi-weekly paycheck, like you can't afford shit off of that.
No,
you really can't.
That's just enough to put into my retirement account.
And that's what he was getting at is like what can these people afford? They can't afford a house, they can afford an apartment, maybe a car. So by the time, and then they're living paycheck to paycheck, right? And they're never ever getting ahead. So he goes, by the time they hit retirement age, what do millennial and Gen Zs like us truly actually have by the time we hit retirement age at 70?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. There's nothing to our name. So it's like I said, it kind of made me start thinking of like, what is the American dream, and then can the American dream still be accomplished today, and if so, how?
Take out income tax. Go back to the old ways, which was actually succeeding.
So in other words, you're telling me Bill Clinton and NAFTA and whatever kind of fucked us all over?
That wasn't Bill Clinton. This was 1913, okay? 1913.
Yeah, but even in the 70s and 80s, you could still work.
Yeah, you could still work and blah, 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 but it was always... So, what happened is we're in the same system as what Germany was. I can't think of other countries. Maybe even Russia. Did Russia fall at one point too? Right? Like, I know Germany was one of them. I can't think of the other countries. But they all had their great rises in history, right? Well, we're doing the same thing Germany and all these other countries did. So now it's our turn to have the downfall. We are about to have the downfall, which is coming because we stupid, you know? We looked at, look at what Germany is doing and look at all these other countries are doing. Oh man, that's so smart. We can get rich off of that. Well, now they're just lining their own pockets and not thinking about anything else. Well, it's going to end up crashing, and now, guess what? Now all you do is you got money. Look at you, be happy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just, like I said, it's...
So, you know, to fix it, just take away income tax. Take away the Federal Reserve. Actually put a currency into our account. And we'll be fine and dandy.
What even? I mean, you could go back that far if you really wanted to. Or just go back like the last 40 years to before Bill Clinton got put in office. I mean, we were still thriving in the 80s, man.
No, the 80s was the start of consumerism.
Yeah, well.
So, 80s was the start of our downfall.
Yeah. Well, then, all I know is Bill Clinton came in as our president, and he signed deals to, like, it was like NAFTA or whatever it was, and it shut down a lot of like factory jobs and stuff like that, and he started sending them overseas and this and that, and that was that was really a big downfall too, because that started hurting our economy too. So
yeah, we need to start bringing things back over.
The downfall with bringing things back is
in agriculture. We need agriculture back.
So the biggest thing
without pesticides or chemicals.
So I'll be honest here, the biggest
and without
downfall.
Maestro. Okay, I will let you continue.
You're fine. So, like the kid, like I agree with all the chemical, like the pesticides and insecticides and stuff like that in farming, because without it is you won't get the yields that you have now.
I don't care, bro.
Hold the phone.
There's natural things that will do it for you, bro.
Thank you. But now, that's why I said, hold the phone, bro.
If you read the Bible, it tells you all about it, bro.
Hold the fucking phone.
Okay. Sorry, Lord. Putting you on hold now, Lord. Okay. What you want?
Now.
No, I gotta answer this.
I'll admit, there are way too many chemicals out there and way too many, like, hybrids and stipulations.
Yeah, thank you, Maestro.
But I do, like I said, I agree with the insecticides and pesticides because they have their pros.
But
right?
they ruin the seeds, bro.
But as I said,
I need the seeds, bro.
I know, but as I said, I think there are too many chemicals out there right now.
There are way too many chemicals out there. But we don't need pesticides. We have natural things that will get rid of it. It's a circle of life, bro. We don't need the chemicals to do the job that circle of life has provided for us. Also, electromagnetic energy, bro. Well, electromagnetic field.
Where are we going before the whole... You got on this whole thing? Because where were we? I had a whole other thought. And then
I know, and then
you just like...
Whoa-bam!
You just took the baseball bat, swung it, and I was like, nope. We're just going to go clear left field over here.
We're talking about the problem of bringing factories back over to America.
Oh, okay. So, the downfall of that...
Mexico. Canada.
There you go. We could do that.
That way it's less travel, less time, less fuel, less money,
yeah.
less
so
everything.
Like, let's put it this way. So like, say a flat screen TV, right? Let's just say...
Terrible. Smash it with a sledgehammer.
But they can make it in
what?
China for like $70, right?
Yeah, they can make an iPhone for $10.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And they can they bring it over here, and they sell it to you, like, for like, let's just say $500, right?
For a cheapie. Yeah.
Now, so they're making they're good ones, like $1,000, right?
Mm.
Let's just say over there it cost them $100 to make a good one.
Mm.
It's $1,000 for you to buy it, so they just made a $900 profit, right?
Mm.
Now, the downfall with that is here in America is that TV with made American parts, and to manufacture it here in America is going to cost you about $1,000 to manufacture it. by the time you put in labor fees and everything else to manufacture it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you sell a TV for by the time you just got done spending $1,000 into it? And then you look at our economy right now. No one would be able to afford that because then you got like a $2,000 in just a flat screen. So everything has its pros and cons.
That's why we just go to Mexico or Canada. I mean, that's what Trump was doing. Trump was building a thing over in Mexico, for trade and everything, which was going to help the U.S. economy make millions of dollars. Well, shit happens.
Yeah, like I said, is so yeah. It's just kind of like I said, is all those things that got brought up this week. Very like through TikTok and Facebook feed and social media accounts.
Mm.
It just got me thinking, like, how is like. It just made me to keep going back to the American dream.
There is no American dream now. Alright. The American dream is long gone, and those who still believe in it will quickly figure it out. But it also, as a way,
You're just gonna crush their hopes like that, man.
Okay. As someone put
Jeez.
it, when I was in New York, as someone put it, it's like, you were born here, so you know that reality is crushed. So but I, come from a different country, so therefore, I still see it as a land of opportunity, and I'm gonna take that opportunity chance and whatnot, and have the clear vision of hope, and we'll push through, It's different mindsets, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But since I grew up in the system, I know the system. I don't like the system.
System sucks.
The system does suck. Terrible system.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Irritable.
Terrible.
So yeah, I mean, I believe the American dream is still achievable, but there is a lot more hurdles to jump through.
Yep, you got to play the money game.
There's a lot more obstacles to jump through.
Put yourself in a trust, and then get yourself some good life insurance, because then you can still pull money out, still put money in. You can take out a loan through yourself. You can be your own freaking bank, Levi. Been learning all about this.
There's, like I said, there's loopholes to the system. By the way, since we're talking about the system, and since, was it last week we talked about finances?
It was last week that someone talked about finances.
Yeah.
You got some wisdom to share of finances?
A little bit.
The Financial Matrix, is that a book?
There's a book called The Financial Matrix.
Are you gonna buy me this book, or do I gotta buy it?
I actually own this book.
You own that book?
I believe it's downstairs in the basement.
Oh, you gonna let me borrow it?
Yeah, it's by Orrin Woodward. I believe there's also an audio version out there. I believe.
Oh yeah, you had the audio pulled up on Google, bro. Come on, man.
But yeah, so it talks about like
breaking the matrix.
Yes,
obviously. That's
but
what
it kind of refers to like the actual movie, The Matrix, and how there's a lot of
corresponding.
There we go.
Thingies.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how movies are able to predict the future, right? Oh my goodness. It's almost like they're telling us what they're gonna do.
Yup. But yeah, so if you want to read it, you're sure welcome to. That would be my suggestion.
You know where it is downstairs?
Yeah.
I might steal it before I leave.
That's
I'll
fine.
forget about it.
I need to actually read it too.
I'll get you notes.
I started reading it and then
You're like, oh, this is boring.
I never actually said it was boring. It was just more the fact of like other things kind of.
Oh, other things. You didn't have time to read. You couldn't get up 10 minutes earlier to read for 10 minutes.
Okay, fine. I wasn't disciplined enough to finish it. Jeez, asshole.
Mindset.
Asshole. But yeah, so I've actually had started reading it, and it is a really, really good book. Unfortunately, I wasn't disciplined enough
There you go.
to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would extremely advise you that if you are interested in things like that would be a great read.
And Levi's all grown up, so he is disciplined now. Somewhat. He's more disciplined than what he was.
It is really, really hard to like when I'm like the kid in a candy store. The minute I see like sports articles and sports books,
You gotta block it out.
or when I find like fascinating stuff on like cars and new technology that's coming out on vehicles, I'm like a kid in a candy store. It is just
I stick to my one book, and it's just, oh wow, so interesting. You know, I got it like this, you know, because I'm blind, so I gotta.
yeah. So
I'm just playing.
yeah. Oh, so do you have any final thoughts?
I do not have any final thoughts. Do you have any final thoughts?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
What?
So earlier this
Chicken
week,
butt.
I figured out that Nebraska is actually located in Antarctica.
Oh yeah, and how did this make your theory?
So
That's crazy. Are you gonna live? Are you dying because you were told the truth?
oh no, it totally hit me. Oh, I see the light going toward the light.
Okay, anyway, tell me.
So, so there's this podcast out there,
There's a lot of podcasts out there.
and I don't know the name of this said podcast.
That's fine.
But so what they do is they bring in like random people from different states and for their shows and ask them different questions and on different topics and so on and so forth, right? So there's one lady. So this one lady there, she was from Nebraska. Or had like or was born in Nebraska or so, you know what I mean, something like that was somehow there was a connection to Nebraska, right? So this other guy, he is a foreigner, moved to California and lives in California. So they were on the show and she answered the question, like she mentioned something about Nebraska, like living in Nebraska or something, right? And he asked her, he goes, "Isn't Nebraska in Antarctica?" And she was all kind of stumped and confused and was like, "No, it's in the middle, like the middle of Antarctica." Like, no, the middle of the U.S. Oh, I always thought Nebraska was in Antarctica.
That's like I would always say out in New York. I'm from Nebraska. I'm like, what the fuck is Nebraska? I'm like, dude, it's in the middle of the state. It's like dead center in the middle of the United States. I was like, and they're like, well, I know about Kansas. I'm like, okay, right above Kansas, right above Kansas. That's.
I know where Iowa is. Just go a little bit more west.
Oh, you know where Colorado is? Neighboring state.
Just to the east a little bit.
Is it close by Alabama? Does it look like I'm Alabamian? Do I talk with the thick southern accent? I can't even do a southern accent. A southern accent.
So this also made it more funnier because I remember when we were in high school, and a classmate of mine, he went to a speech tournament, like it was like nationals or something. It was out of state, right?
Mm.
And he ran into this girl, and this girl asked him where he was from, and he said Nebraska, and she goes, "Isn't that right next to Alaska because they rhyme?"
Alaska.
I don't know, like I am not good with geography and like locations of states, right?
Mm.
I mean, if you put a map in front of me, I would probably fail that test of trying to put
Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska,
Okay,
South
I guarantee
Dakota,
I-
North Dakota,
I guarantee you
Colorado,
I would like
Wyoming,
okay
Minnesota,
the Midwest. I would probably nail that bitch.
New York, Pennsylvania. I think that's South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. Oh, Georgia's halfway in between there somewhere.
And Kentucky looks like a chicken leg, so KFC.
Yeah, and then you got over on the other side of Texas. Oh, I forgot about New Orleans. On the other side of Texas.
New Orleans is Louisiana.
There we go. Thank you. I was like, that's the city. Damn it. What's the state? You got New Mexico. Then you got Arizona. No, is it Arizona then New Mexico? No, it's New Mexico then Arizona.
I don't know.
Then California. Then Las Vegas. Then Oregon. No, Oregon, Washington.
So,
Oh my goodness.
I'll be honest, I'd probably fail that test if you put a map in front of me and asked states, right?
Mm.
I'll be honest with that. But I also do know, like, what states are the 50 states. And majority, I could tell you where they're located. So, like, I could tell you the southern states, right?
Mm.
I could tell you the northeastern states. I could tell you Midwest. Like those? If you actually, like I said, if you gave me a map, I'd probably fail it. If you're like, hey, what states are in the Midwest? I would more than likely be able to pass that test. So when you tell me that Alaska, first of all, when you tell me Nebraska is right next to Alaska,
Because they rhyme.
because they rhyme. And secondly, do you not realize that Alaska is technically attached to Canada? So Nebraska would have to be in Canada if they were next to each other. Like, mind blown.
This guy.
This is like Hawaii can't be touched to anything because Hawaii is just out in the middle of nowhere. So if you try to tell me a Hawaii is somewhere here in the U.S. and attached to land, you are wrong. You are absolutely wrong. But yeah, that was. I just had a laugh when I saw that, and I figured you'd laugh too because you probably had some weird experiences living out in New York, being a Nebraska kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
What the heck do you do in Nebraska? I'd always say booze cruise, because no one knew what booze cruising was.
we pump our water out of a well and we ride donkeys.
I was asked if we still had horses, if we still ride horses
Yes.
and carriages, and I was sitting there like, what the fuck is that?
I am just going to say yes at that point and let you believe whatever you want to believe. Yes, we still ride
Yeah, we still
horse-drawn
have dirt roads.
carriages, and hence the reason I walk to work every day, because I don't know how to drive a car.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, is that your final thoughts?
That's my final thoughts.
Are you sure that's your final thoughts?
I'm pretty sure.
You're pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that's all I got, because I ain't got much else.
Alright.
There's not much else in my head.
Alright. I knew where you were going with it. I just wasn't gonna play with you. Alright, anyway, you want
You're
to
not
the
gonna
outro?
play with me? What? You don't want to go play a game?
Wanna play a game?
I love playing games.
You wanna play a game?
You should come down in the sewer here with me.
No, I'm good. Anyway,
You want a balloon?
no, I don't want a balloon and I don't want a freaking boat, so knock it off, you ding-a-ling-a-ling. Jeez.
You want some tater tots?
No, I don't want no tater tots, I don't want no popcorn, I don't want no grins and ham. Eggs and ham.
Just totally biffed that one.
Anyway. This has been Backyard Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Mama said knock you out. Anyway, this has been Backyard
I just shit my
Bullshit.
pants.
Did you really? You need to go check yourself before you wreck yourself.
So it sounded like you said it was bullshit.
Bullshit. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, this was our episode. We only have three more.
Three more, yeah.
Next week, then after, and then Super Bowl.
So we'll do it after the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl to
And then-
discuss the Super Bowl, and then
And then we could discuss Valentine's Day that time too.
yeah, we kind of. So yeah. Anyway, peace, love, happiness, and unity.
Also, I did have, before we totally quit this, I did have one request. We did have one request last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we actually got a
Bloopers.
request. Oh
So,
my goodness.
Mr. Isaiah here
I
may
refuse.
or may not be
I
coming out with a
refuse.
blooper reel of this season. Now,
There ain't no
Thank you.
blooper reels of this season. I have already deleted most of the footage.
fine.
The
But
only
thank you.
yeah.
But yeah, if you want that, please comment down below and we can add that in for next season. So
Oh, I have big plans for off season. Don't you worry. But anyway, peace, love, happiness, and unity.
and rock on.